remarkable delegation has just arrived in Israel, and it's making headlines for all of the right reasons. Sharaka has brought a group of Muslim leaders from across the United States on a week-long visit aimed at promoting coexistence, understanding, and truth. The delegation has been learning about the Holocaust, anti-Semitism, and the events of October 7th, and engaging directly with Israeli communities in both Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. At a time when anti-Semitism is surging globally, these leaders are really taking a bold stand. They're showing that solidarity and dialogue can bridge divides that politics too often widen. Sheikh Musa Drame is now joining us. He is a president of the Muslims-Israel Dialogue. It is such a pleasure to have you here with us. You are very much a respected, leader within New York City, and this visit is coming at a very, very sensitive time for both Jews and Muslims together. What has this trip meant to you personally, and what moments have stood out so far? Tell us a little bit about what you guys have been doing.
Absolutely. First of all, thank you so much. I am very honored to be here. I watch the channel all the time from New York. We are here to be part of the peacemaking mechanism in this region.
Right.
We are Muslims, part of 57 OIC members, 22 Arab League nations. Our goal here is to making sure that all these nations, number one, recognize Israel, number two, establish diplomatic and all kinds of relationship with Israel. Israel should no longer be isolated as a foreign country right here in the Middle East. And so we're here from New York City, where the topic of anti-Semitism, anti-Israel, and everything else is now boiling to the roof. So we said we're going to go to the Holy Land to show the world that New Yorkers will always go to the Holy Land, and the tie will never ever be severed, regardless of who the mayor or the governor of New York is.
What has stood out to you about this particular visit right now, and also to other members of your delegation who I'm assuming many have never been here before?
Yeah. You know, we have visited many sites. We have, spoken to many places. We had been given lectures about issues past and current and, personal views. But when we went to the home of a 93-year-old Holocaust survivor and met with her, listened to her, and for me, to have always heard never again is never again, and meeting with a Holocaust survivor who thought that never again was never again, and all of a sudden now the wound has been reopened by October 7th.
Right.
I'm saying to myself, this 93-year-old doesn't have much years left, according to natural life. And for her now to think that the past is not really past, but present, that is so disappointing to us. And whatever we can do, especially as Muslims, to be the ambassadors of change, to making sure that never again is never again, that is why we're here. And that is the highlight of the trip. I mean, 93-year-old should not be making her last years on earth and not believing that never again is really never again. This is the most painful, experience for us so far.
Obviously, changing minds is not an easy thing to do. What do you think needs to happen to promote more interfaith dialogue, to promote more of an understanding about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, about the Jewish experience amongst the international Muslim community?
I think there was a mistake on both sides, on Israeli government, Israeli society, and the world at large. I think the mistake was that we thought that anti-Israel was like anti-politics of Israel, but it really has nothing to do with anti-Semitism. But now we understand that anti-Zionism is anti-Israel, anti-Israel is anti-Semitic. Now we know that. So in order for us to tackle anti-Semitism, we have to tackle anti-Israel. Everybody that I personally met that say, oh, I'm only anti-Zionist, deep within they're anti-Semitic. The Muslim world has zero clue about Israel. They have zero clue about Judaism. I'm telling you this thing. And for us now to open the Muslim world's minds and hearts to understand that what you're seeing, what you've been taught, your perception is completely the opposite of reality. That is why we need to bring as many leaders here to see for themselves as we can. The best investment we can make is not to the bullets or anything else, but through bringing leaders and influential and decision makers to the ground to see the reality. everybody who came with us, they were surprised because to them they thought that Jews are here, Arabs are there, Muslims are here, Christians. No, now they see the intertwinedness of the Holy Land.
Right.
And that is the message we're going to send home.
I guess what's just interesting to me, among those who were part of this delegation, were these all people who already supported Israel to a certain extent, or were there people who are part of this delegation who were very questioning of what was going on here?
Israel is one nation that everybody has opinion, and most opinions are negative.
Right.
And instead of seeing Israel as pretty much a victim, vulnerable in its environment, but now they pretty much see Israel as a colonizer, extension of colonizer,
Right.
and in a very, unfortunately, misleading way. So what the trip and these trips are doing is to bring reality where reality
Right.
needs to be brought, and that Israel is a victim. And for us Muslims, we are now speaking loud and clear that this nation, in our holy book, God says, chapter 5, verses 21, enter the holy land in which Allah assigned unto you. And this does not diminish any attachment of Palestinians to the land, but it cancels the idea
Right.
of, these are foreigners who came 1940 and occupied the land. Our holy book came 1400 years ago, and our holy book said, enter the holy land in which Allah assigned unto you. So you can no longer use 1948 and to say, they only came, after 1948.